I don't know how to quit a job working for a family friend without damaging the relationship. I'm in a challenging situation after a series of job transitions this year. I initially moved to my dream city for a job that unfortunately ended due to layoffs after going public. Afterwards, I worked in a difficult environment at a chocolate shop, followed by a more enjoyable stint at a sushi restaurant. However, I wanted to move away from food service and towards building a career. An opportunity arose when a longtime family friend, L, offered me a position at her new entrepreneurial venture, S. The project is a flower farm that intends to educate teenagers about business through the process of growing and selling bouquets. I was hired as a project coordinator for events and scheduling. However, 3 months into this job, I'm the only employee and there are no teenagers in the program yet. I've been doing farming work, which is outside my job description and expertise. Furthermore, L's daughter C, who is supposed to be the president of S, shows little interest or involvement in the business. This has led to me handling a majority of the tasks, from farming to selling bouquets, managing emails, event creation, and social media, among other responsibilities. Compounding frustrations include a long commute involving a train ride and a bicycle ride, and a lack of appreciation or support from L, particularly L's recent wedding incident, where she mistreated my mother, has caused me to question my relationship with her. At L's wedding, my mom, a professional hairstylist, was asked to supervise the hairstyling. However, L had my mom do various odd jobs the entire trip, including a 5-hour piano pickup. It's a long story, and revealed last minute that she had no hairstylist. My mom ended up styling the entire wedding party's hair, causing her significant stress. L's harsh treatment of my mom, including barking orders that I wouldn't even expect of her for an employee, let alone a childhood friend, resulted in us missing parts of the ceremony and reception. L hasn't thanked or spoken to my mom since the wedding, causing disappointment and, on my end, anger. Despite taking a pay cut for this job with the expectation of career growth, it has become more of a financial burden than anything else. I'm considering switching jobs again, this time to another chocolate shop which promises better pay, a city location, and more free time. Concurrently, I'm also thinking of going back to school to finish my degree in forensic psychology. The situation at S has caused a resurfacing of intense feelings of depression. I'm worried about the potential repercussions of leaving S, including damaging my relationship with L and disappointing my parents. My father is already weary of my job changes, and while my mother sympathizes with my struggles at S, she advises me not to let the wedding incident affect my career decisions. Overall, I'm feeling lost, miserable, and unsure of my next steps. I'm seeking advice on how to navigate this complicated situation. Comment. You shouldn't let your professional life interfere with your personal one, especially if it's your parents' personal one. Your mother is right about that. The flip side of the coin is that people you know can't hold anything against your professional choices, just because they know you outside of work and can have a connection with you. This is why many people advise to never work with family or friends. The road is never straight and many people can't sever that from their personal life, they take it home. To the problem at hand. You aren't getting what they promised in the job description. You're getting way better opportunities / pay / circumstances / yada 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 somewhere else. You'd be a fool to not take the new job. Especially if it allows you to study again, which can influence your life in the next 30 years. Forget the wedding. That's your mom's relationship with L to sort out. They are both adults. If she treated your mom badly on that episode, although it would make you lose respect for her, why didn't your mom draw boundaries at the time? You do not stay in a job to maintain a friendship, yours or you family's. So, thank you for the opportunity. I realize this is not quite what we discussed the role would entail, and I'm confident you'd agree with that. And although the project may change in the future, I don't see that happening within a time frame I'd be comfortable with. The current role and I are not a fit for each other. I'm therefore handing in my notice. Decide your next step. Apply and get next step, job, education, etc. Submit resignation. I am going to try this new opportunity. I appreciated this opportunity and it's been a great experience. On to next venture. Next story 2. Me set a boundary and she called me abusive. Me and my friend have been extremely close / best friends for 6 years. She has a beautiful, wonderful 4-year-old daughter who loves me and I love her. Me and my friend both love each other, it's been known for years, but due to different circumstances we had to hold off on advancing things, though we both want to make a relationship work. The time is finally right to do so. We live in different states and talked recently about me moving to be near her to make it work. Here's the problem. Within the last few months, I have been suspicious of her constantly bringing this male coworker up often, who is married with 2 young kids of his own. Last month, after pressing her and asking if there's anything she'd like to tell me about this coworker, she claimed that they indeed have feelings for each other. She told me he revealed them to her first, and to my absolute shock, she told him she feels the same. Keep in mind this guy is married. After previously lying about this friendship with this guy, she came clean and told me they have gone to a small concert or 2 with each other where he put his arm around her at one of the shows. He even asked her to go before his own wife. He picked her up and drove an hour to the show and an hour back to drop her off. She says he never came inside. They have gone to dinner. He has been over to her place to help move furniture around, and do minor landscaping duties like weed whacking. I surprised her and drove to her on Valentine's Day only to find a box of chocolate for him on her counter that said to him, "Love, her." He texts her outside of work and they chat. His own wife got suspicious one day and asked if there was anything she should know. He said no. I am so uncomfortable with this situation. I told her I do not feel comfortable moving down there as long as the situation is continuing. I have never been good at setting boundaries, but after speaking with my therapist she insisted I start now. I talked with her about how uncomfortable I am and I mentioned breaking non-work related contact with him, texting outside of the office. I said if she feels like that's something she is unwilling to do, and just keep contact within the work office, then it's fine, but I won't be sticking around anymore and certainly wouldn't be uprooting my life to move near a situation like that. Especially because there are admitted feelings on both ends and that she even told me they have said they love each other. If there was no shoddiness or feelings or admitted attraction, I wouldn't have an issue because I'd be trusting of her. She said she had to sleep on it, which I thought was crazy. I'm lost. Heartbroken. Floored. Pissed off. Confused. I talked with my therapist that I didn't want to be controlling at all, but set a boundary. This is all because they have romantic feelings for each other and that's why I set the boundary. I don't know how to respond to her. Should I move on from her due to the unwillingness to meet my boundary? I'm terrified having to walk away. Comment. Your friend is manipulative and moving solely to be near here is not a good idea. You may want to take a step back and look at the totality of your relationship, both friendship and romantic. I think you'll find that this type of behavior is not an isolated incident. People who pull this kind of stuff rarely do it only once. Finally, the age difference is troubling. You were best friends, for how long? The difference in ages, especially at this stage of life, might be worth examining. There is always a reason why someone much older dates someone younger. What could you possibly have had in common when you were in your mid-20s and she was in her mid-30s? Your stages of life and experiences are so fundamentally different. She called you abusive. The best defense is a good offense. She's accusing you of doing what she's doing in order to put you on the defense and make you more malleable to her demands. Wow, this sucks for you. I know I'm only hearing your side, but I think based on the lack of boundaries / inappropriate behavior between them, and yeah, going on a date and admitting feeling to a married person is inappropriate, I think this boundary is completely fair. Sounds like she is struggling with the choice between you two and is, quite frankly, gaslighting you because of it. To me, it's a fair boundary and she doesn't seem ready to commit to you. Might be time to walk away. Sorry. Yes, that's the point of having a boundary. If people don't respect them, you don't have to interact with those people. Boundaries determine how you behave, not how others behave. It's a form of integrity. You're 32, you're still young to find a relationship where you will be respected and loved. So walk away. Also, the fact that she is willing to be a homewrecker in another person's marriage is a massive red flag. Yes, I said homewrecker. She, willingly or unwillingly, is causing stress on another marriage, and she is unwilling to take a step back. So you are avoiding a lot of trouble down the road. Although I am glad that therapy has become more widely accepted in the past couple of years, one of the major downsides of this is therapy speak, where lay individuals will utilize therapy terms to manipulate a situation to make themselves look more favorable. What she is doing is wrong, and instead of owning up to her actions, she is weaponizing therapy speak to try and make you look like the villain. What you are asking is perfectly reasonable. I would have serious reservations about moving states for her, considering the circumstances. Best of luck, op.